So a lot of students comment on specific either activities or flexibility and their own kind of agency in determining when they do certain types of work and flexibility around those approaches. Those get a lot of comments in the evaluation. So that I think is quite nice direct feedback. But the thing that's been really gratifying is that I've had out of these kind of practices come a lot of opportunities to collaborate with both undergraduate and graduate students. And so um, for example, the 3D printing project came out of a conversation with some MA students where I was invited to talk to them about applying for PhD programs. And then one student mentioned reading I had assigned about how museums had been incorporating 3D prints to aid patrons with visual impairments and allowing them to interact with materials. And in this case, I think it was the Mona Lisa, so a very famous piece of art. And that sort of kicked off a conversation, and everybody got very excited. And so out of that came this 3D printing project with three of these now graduated MA students. And then similarly, the Wikipedia project I started assigning during COVID, again, because libraries were closed and I wanted to find sort of alternatives. And in this case, ones that really focused on digital literacy, information literacy. And one of the students who was an undergrad at the time who took or participated in that assignment in the first time I ran it, then went on to be an MA student and worked a lot in the writing center and was very interested in this. So he and I started collaborating, and now we're writing an article out of this. And so co-authoring an article. So I think the fact that so many undergrads and grad students are quite excited about these types of activities and then want to engage in learning and writing about it, to me has been really exciting. And then you get the chance to co-author and present papers together and do things. And that's always, I think, a really great experience. This is absolutely something I think that a lot of faculty deal with. Certainly, I think as somebody who teaches classes like ancient Egypt and Rome and ancient empires, they tend to draw a lot on just general public interest. And so you do have a lot of students who will opt to take them as GWARs, opt to take them as their sort of additional classes through their degree, who aren't necessarily wanting to pursue careers in archaeology or ancient history. And so they come into that space with really different preparation levels, really different interests in what drew them there. And so wanting to give them opportunities to engage with the discipline, how you do that type of work, but also thinking towards how that's building skills for them that are transferable outside of that space. So I focus a lot on activities and work that really center on these sort of literacies, these competencies or capacities around information and data, and then also in many cases, digital literacies. So thinking about how you can combine what are disciplinary methods with these different competency buildings. So that I think has helped me focus the types of activities I want them to do. And then I think the big one is incorporating peer learning, group activities, because again, my training is sort of primarily in archaeology, and that is a really like group effort kind of sport, really team-based activity. And so providing opportunities for them to work together allows them to have that kind of multidisciplinary conversation. Everybody's bringing different skill sets and perspectives. And so that, again, not only really, I think, mimics what we do in the field in my case, but also lets them learn from each other, which again, a very learning science backed approach to knowledge construction. And I think makes the classroom a much more engaging and fun experience when they're working together.